course, continuing coverage of Super Bowl 59 live here from the New Orleans Convention Hall in the great city of New Orleans. And let's have a local celebrity join us. Why not? Let's have Saints kicker Blake Grupe join us here. Blake, good to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us. And what a year for kickers. I feel like kickers have become, maybe this is the Pat McAfee effect or whatever, but I feel like kickers are having a moment right now.
Yeah, guys. Well, first of all, welcome to New Orleans, and thank you guys for having me. Pat McAfee's got his set over there, so I'm sure I'll have to pop my head in and go say hi to him. But a good year for kickers. For me and for a lot of guys that I know, and obviously stuff's going to happen out there, but I'm glad to take advantage of what I was able to do this year.
Correct. Well, I think you had a great year. I think you had your career long this year.
I did. Very first field goal of the year too. So,
no pressure.
Started off with a bang.
So do you feel like kickers in that position specifically are one of the more underappreciated or undervalued?
I don't want to go on a rant here.
This is your time to shine. Do it.
It's the nature of the position. There's a lot of guys, in the league and that are itching to get back in. It's a very important position. Obviously, we can win games. You can unfortunately lose games, but that's the life of a kicker. Obviously, you got to sign up. You got to want to kick the Super Bowl game-winning field goal. You got to want to be the guy that has the game on his back and can go out there and take advantage of that opportunity. So if you don't want that, then you're probably not going to last.
We mentioned McAfee jokingly, but I think the kickoff events and contests that he does for College Game Day has really sort of galvanized this interest in that.
100%.
I mean, especially given the fact that now FanDuel is doing one for the Super Bowl with the Manning brothers as well.
Look on the big.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Do you sort of love that as a kicker that now there's sort of this new interest in sort of a contest of them?
Saturday mornings of College Game Day. That's when we're going in meetings, starting our mornings. The day before the game, and so it's awesome. Like every Saturday of College Game Day, we're in the facility or we're doing something and we're watching. Every week it's like you see the guy that absolutely shanked it this week. You see the guy that's
right. But you get so excited when they actually make it. It's like this amazing moment to see together.
Feel that Pat's been able to do, as a punter to then now what he is now. I mean, that guy's an absolute animal. So it's really cool that what he's able to do now and just kind of bring kicking into another light. It's one of those things that everybody's just the kicker, but for him to be able to do what he's doing and kind of just bring more attention to it, it's really an awesome.
Do you have, by the way, a pick between the Manning brothers, between Peyton and Eli, on who's going to get that kick on Super Bowl Sunday?
Who won the Pro Bowl? Did Eli win the Pro Bowl?
I actually don't remember who won the Pro Bowl.
I watched the first half, not the second. I think Eli's on maybe 2 straight.
Yeah, he's on a streak.
Peyton's a little older, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like they're saying it's like experience versus youth. I don't know.
I'll go with Peyton. See if he can pull it off. I think it was Gronk in the
yeah. So. But also back to the kicker games. I mean, like the pressure in those situations is so intense, and we've seen on the opposite side a lot of guys who miss those kicks, the negative attention, the terrible harassment that they endure. How do you sort of deal with that as a kicker when you have so much pressure on you, and then you're dealing with it on a personal level afterward?
Yeah, and it can get very personal, very fast. And especially with today's scenes of when it comes to sports gambling,
right?
And I've heard it on both sides, whether I've made a kick or missed a kick, and how I tank somebody's parlay. I mean, me personally, obviously, I don't want to miss, or do I really care? No. But yeah, it is a lot. I've had my fair share of negative stuff, but you learn to work through that just as a human being, just like somebody says something mean to you on the street.
Totally.
But just as much as there's crazy, negative, over the top, kind of dramatic, wrongs, on the other side, there's your positive. People are lifting you up, telling you how good of a job you're doing, whether it's true or not. So you see the ups and the downs, and you kind of just learn to realize to stay in the middle, because regardless of what you do, high or low, there's going to be haters, there's going to be supporters, and you keep level, stay consistent. That's kind of the name of our game.
I think that's a healthy way to look at it. Just keep your head down and just go at it. But I'm sure also the moments when you do win the game are moments like that. I'm sure that is an amazing experience.
100%. You got to live in that.
We also know you from Notre Dame. There's been a lot of talk about Notre Dame in the college football playoffs because they're independent. They got to keep all of that money that usually would have had to go to their conferences. Penn State coach Franklin had said that maybe, they shouldn't stay independent. What's your take on that? Do you like Notre Dame staying as an independent?
I think it was Lou Holtz, and I'm probably not going to get the quote correct, but it basically said if you know Notre Dame, there's no description that's going to do it justice.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, there's nothing that we're going to be able to tell you to change your mind. And so I might have messed that up there a little bit, but that's basically what it is. If you're part of Notre Dame, if you're a Notre Dame fan, you absolutely love it.
The Saints, by the way, back to your current team, the only team right now that does not have a head coach. The talk is right now that Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, likely the front runner for that position. Have you put in a thought about who your coach might be? Do you wish that this situation would get wrapped up? And do you think it might be Kellen Moore that might be coaching you?
Yeah, it's out of my control. I've said that obviously I've had some questions about it, and I've always just said, I'm taking care of my business. I'm putting it in between the two big yellow things. So, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Darren Rizzi was my special teams coordinator. He did take over at the end of the season in the second half as the interim, and I think he did a great job. I think for what we were dealt in those situations, that he is a leader and the guys love him, and I think he would do well. However, I know it's out of my control and that the front office is going to make their decisions. And I mean, if it is, whoever it is, who it's going to be. And so all I know is that I'm going to continue to work and just stay ready for whoever is steering the ship for us, that I'll be ready to go to work and hopefully I get a chance to prove myself again.
Let's get you out of here on this. The city's incredible. This is the 11th time New Orleans has hosted the Super Bowl. You know that this is always going to be in the top of rotations for the Super Bowls. What makes this city so great and unique for an opportunity where hundreds of millions of people are watching this across the world?
I think, like you said, it's the opportunity that this city presents. There's so much going on. Well, what's funny is I'm from a smaller town, and so Super Bowl has never came near anywhere Sedalia, Missouri. But to be around New Orleans and everything that comes with the city, all the history, all the things to do, all the culture that comes with it, that's the best part. And so there's not many, I don't think you can even say there's any places in the country like New Orleans. And that's the best part. So when you come down here, it's something new. It's something different. The people in the city are great. The food is great. There's always something to do. And so I love down here. I stay down here year round. I love everything about New Orleans. And it's great to see this many people get to experience and enjoy some of the things that we get to, enjoy on a daily basis.
Final question. Who you got winning on Sunday? Is it going to be a three-peat?
It possibly could. Being from Missouri, hard not to lead toward the Chiefs. So I guess
they won't let you back home if you don't pick the Chiefs.
I know, my dad might not. So I guess I'll give the nod to Kansas City, but obviously wish it was us in there.
Yeah, well, who knows? It might be very, very soon. Great to have you here, Blake.